Welcome to Researcher 135's Community Call, Daily Talk, with host Rich Vernadeau. Daily Talk, Researcher 135's Community Call. Daily Talk is a weekly call-in talk show which airs on www.talkshow.com every Saturday night at 7 p.m. Central Time, 8 Eastern, and 5 Pacific. Call in your questions or comments. 724-444-7444 and call ID 137393 plus the pound sign.
Good evening. Welcome to Daily Talk, Researcher 135's Community Call with your host, Rich Vernadeau. Welcome to the July 8th, 2017 edition of Daily Talk. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to my guest from last week, Jan Hollandies. She was fantastic. She's written several books. You can find them on Amazon. Among them are, of course, they're all about ghosts, but one of them is titled About Ghosts, and it's a nonfiction book about ghosts. She has two other works, too, and these are all talked about on last week's show, which you can watch the YouTube videos which were made from last week's show. It's 4 of them, part 1, 2, 3, and 4. So, I would like to encourage all of you to, of course, listen to that, and to any other shows that I have archived here, and to all of the other YouTube videos that I have made. So, we had many callers last week, among them my repeat guest, Wendy Rose Williams, and that was nice to have her back. She's been on the show several times, and she's always a great guest. We always cover a lot of great subject matter, past lives and reincarnation. And last week there were a lot of interesting questions. Henry Baxley, who's also been a guest on the show in the past, was also one of my callers last week. He had a lot of interesting things to say as well. And by all means, you need to call in anytime you can if you're listening and ask a question or make a comment. Our topic is different every week. Our guest is different every week. And the shows are archived and can be downloaded here at www.talkshow.com on Researcher 135's Community Call. That's where every show that I've done in the past 2 years is archived, and you can download the entire 1-hour episode. Some of them even go a little past an hour, of course. Many of them have been made into YouTube videos, and you can go to YouTube and watch those on the Richard Vernadeau channel there on YouTube, along with my other series that I have going on there as well. I have Crazy Insane Radio, which is a fictional series, which is now in its 24th season. I just shot and uploaded earlier today, episode 486, I believe it was. And there's also another series going, much younger series, only into its 2nd season now, and it's called Murgatroyd: The Early Years, and it covers the ground of the characters, what was going on in Murgatroyd prior to Crazy Insane Radio. So in other words, it's sort of a retro flashback show. So I want to welcome you to watch it as well. Another one that is set in the future, it is a science fiction show, but it has some of the characters from Crazy Insane Radio. It's also a Rich Vernadeau production, and it is called The Future Hope Saga. It also just finished up its 2nd season and will be going into the 3rd. But the 1st and 2nd season of The Future Hope Saga are fully available there on YouTube to be watched. You can also purchase them from me on DVD, as well as every single season, all 24 of them, of Crazy Insane Radio series. Each DVD season is $9.99, and it will contain multiple episodes. Most of them run at least an hour. And so, by all means, you want to check those out. You want to watch them on YouTube, of course, and or own them by purchasing them from me. And they're available. You can send a check or money order to 218 Bonham Street to Rich Vernadeau, or you can, of course, buy them through PayPal. And my email address for PayPal is Gideon137@live.com if you decide to send a money order for any season or all seasons of Crazy Insane Radio. So, we would like to encourage you to watch my show. And when you're on YouTube watching my show, by all means, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the Richard Vernadeau channel, because you'll enjoy all the stuff I put out. I also do nonfiction. You know, I mentioned that many of the episodes of talk radio episodes I do here, Daily Talk, that many of them are done into the YouTube videos, as we were talking about, that an awful lot of them are right there on YouTube where you can watch them. One of the episodes, and there's many of them, so I'll name off a few that you can watch there. Linda Beauvais, who was on a few months ago, she and I did a recreation of a past life regression. And, of course, that is right there on YouTube. You can watch the video of it. Just look up Linda Beauvais, and it's a Daily Talk episode from either January or February. Courtney Starkey has been on my show a number of times, and there's a YouTube video of her show. She also has her own YouTube channel. That's Courtney Starkey. She airs a little brief show every morning. Very upbeat and inspirational and very, very educational. She is a past life regressionist. She travels to Hawaii and lives in Hawaii some, and she's in Virginia some as well. And I would like to encourage you to listen to those episodes and watch them, of course. I did one on the Liard Hot Springs bear attack that occurred in 1997, in which a girl from my hometown, a girl from my city, was killed at Liard Hot Springs in British Columbia by a rampaging black bear. The anniversary of that's coming up. That was August 14th, 1997. So in just, I don't know, about 6 weeks or so, it's going to be the 20th anniversary of that uncanny event that is more rare and unlikely than being struck by lightning or winning the lottery. So think about that. And yet, just a few weeks ago, all over the news, there were a couple of black bear attacks that happened either the same day or within a day of each other. These occurred, of course, in Alaska. You may recall the young man who was in the race who had gotten off the beaten path there and gotten on a side trail or road of some kind, and a black bear attacked him. And then there was a minor, if I'm not mistaken, the second victim, either that same day or the next. And once again, these are tragedies. But there seems to be some credibility to the research, the idea that there are black bears in far northern British Columbia and the Yukon Territory and then up in Alaska that are much more predatory than their black bear relatives a little further south down here in the United States. That's not to say that any black bear, when encountered under the wrong circumstances, is not extremely dangerous. So one should always proceed with caution when you're in an area hiking or camping or whatever the case may be. Whenever you are in an area that might contain black bears, you want to be careful. And I want to welcome my guest tonight. Hello, Becky Buchko. How are you this evening?
Hey, Rich, you can just call me Becky Buchko. That's fine. I'm sorry for the delay. I do have some things going on here, so if I get a beep in, unfortunately, I'm going to have to leave the phone, and I'll just go on to chat if that's okay with you.
I understand completely, because you did, in fact, make me aware of your situation. and I appreciate you. In Northeast Texas, I'd like to welcome you to the call. Good evening.
Good evening. How are you all doing?
I'm well tonight. How are you?
Good. What are we talking about tonight?
Well, I'd like for Becky to tell us how her books are doing, particularly Pandora. Tell us what's going on with your books, Becky.
Well, Pandora's Box of Love, of course, has been released, as has Pandora, How to Unleash Your Passion. Both are starting to sell. Unfortunately, I did, fortunately for me, I have had to switch over from a book writer and, bestseller to Nana, as I've brought my daughter and 3 grandchildren to live with me. So now my life has been kind of crazy. I just moved, finally got the internet back, and since there are now 2 toddlers and a baby at my house, I've come to my mom's house to use the telephone for peace and quiet. So it's not selling as well as I would like it to. Of course, it will pick up again. I'll be back on the trail with it, pushing it starting the week after next again. So you'll start hearing more about Pandora's Box of Love as I start to promote it. I've just kind of been working with what's going on in my personal life for the past 2 months. So I was very happy to be invited by you, Rich, to be on your show today. How are you doing?
Well, I'm doing fantastic, and it's great to have you back. I think this makes your 4th or 5th appearance here, plus you've called in numerous times in the past as well. And I am so glad, and then so excited for you that you have those grandchildren now. I know you're enjoying that a great deal.
Oh, yes. Nothing like getting woken up with kisses, or just a little face saying, Nana, Nana, wake up. Very different from just being with a now 20-year-old college student in the house to having all these babies running around in craziness. So, I am losing weight, though I have to say. I've discovered a new diet. It's called 2 Toddlers and Baby. It's, Nana, what are you eating? Me some? So,
wow.
Yeah, so I've cut my portions by, I eat approximately 1/3 of what I was eating before because, of course, Kai and Jude have to each have at least 1/3 of what I'm having, usually more than that. So
it sounds like you're raising those kids in a nurturing, loving environment, and that's wonderful. In fact, our caller, Henry from Northeast Texas, has done a great deal of research into early childhood development. And Henry, weigh in a little bit on how important it is that kids receive that attention and nurturing early in life.
Well, it's critical to find out how critical. You can Google feral children, child of rage, anything like that. What's the name of your book? Pandora's Box of what?
The one book is Pandora's Box of Love, Unleashing a New Passion, and it has an accompanying how-to book called Pandora, How to Unleash Your Passion. Pandora is a way to make love when your partner is not even in the same area as you. You don't have to be in the same room, not even the same state or even the same country, and you can actually make love. It's not exactly like it, but it is has the same results, and it's pretty awesome. It's a way to bring lovemaking back to those who have either physical disabilities or say they're ill, or maybe something happened and they're missing a limb, they're paralyzed, even someone who has a disease that would be communicable through relations. They don't have to worry about that. It's the perfect safe sex. Nobody gets pregnant this way, and everybody gets to have fun. So I think once it catches on, it's going to do very well.
Is it classed as fiction, as drama, as fan? What or an opinion, or research, or documentary, or what's it about? Tell me a little about it. Hello?
Becky, are you still here? And if we lost her, she'll be back. I'll weigh in until she gets back.
I'm back. For some reason, I've got to... Let me call you right back.
Question was, could you describe the nature of the Pandora book? Is it a fictional work, or is it a guide or a how-to book, or exactly sort of what genre does it fit into?
Let me call you right back. I do have interference. I will answer that in just one moment, okay?
Okay, that would be great. Becky, of course, lives in Johnstown, Pennsylvania, and has done extensive research, Henry, into the flood of 1889, in which so many thousands died. a flood that could very easily be blamed on Andrew. Yeah, you're probably familiar with that whole debacle up there.
Well, I'm back.
Yes, welcome back,
Becky. To answer your first question, Pandora's Box of Love, Unleashing a New Passion is classified as an erotic romance. And by an erotic romance, that category is different than just erotica in the way that each scene of both erotic scene and each regular scene builds on the story, builds the romance within the characters. And so it is definitely a book where you will fall in love with the main characters. You will cry, you will laugh, you will be warm. It's my favorite review so far is by a man who read the book, and he said, "I can't tell you how many times I've used your book." And I was like, "That works." Anyway,
but it sounds very interesting and unique, and I wish you a lot of luck with it. How are you doing with it?
It's doing okay. As I said, I just rescued my daughter and her children from a domestic violence situation, so I've had to pull away from promoting it, and sadly it was like right after it came out, so I've not done a whole lot, but I will be coming back to it now that I know they're safe, they're in a good environment, and so not this coming week, but the week after that, I will be doing a lot of promotions for the book, so it should be good. It is based on a true story, mine, so you'll get to learn a lot about me if you read the book. It is very, very interesting. It took 10 years to write, and I think you will like it. It's available on Amazon, or you can actually buy it as a print book if you prefer, like many people now do, actually holding a book in your hand. But that again is on Amazon, and you can find that under my name, Becky. Last name is Buchko.
I'm personally not into that kind of stuff. I mostly read history and nonfiction, but I'll definitely pass the word around people that do like that kind of stuff.
Well, definitely. And there is the matching book. It's called Pandora: How to Unleash Your Passion. It's written so that you can learn Pandora in less than 45 minutes. It's kind of just like written tongue-in-cheek, very fun. I call it modern-day smart butt. So if you know someone that can no longer do that, even somebody that's older and has ED, anything, they can use Pandora and get those same feelings back. So that, again, is also on Amazon. Now, I've also written historical fiction books for children. I know those are totally different categories, but my book, I heard you telling Rich telling you about the 1889 Johnstown flood. The books are based on that. The first one out is a time travel, kind of been written for like the middle grades, but it's a nice, easy read, totally clean. There's nothing in it. You know, anybody in the family can read it. It's about two children from the 1889 flood, one whose family was a victim of the flood, and the other whose family were members of the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club. That is the group that caused the flood, or should have been held responsible for the flood. They come into Johnstown. Ellie, who is from the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club, comes into Johnstown the week after the flood trying to find her best friend, Kate, who was, unfortunately, her family were victims. And in that, they go into what was called Alma Hall, which still exists to this day, went upstairs in 1889 to find if they had any information on Kate's family, fell out the window of Alma Hall, and ended up on the sidewalk in 2016 Johnstown, and thought they heard the voice of God. But it really wasn't the voice of God, but it was a talking Christmas tree that we have every year. So that's really nice. It's fun. It's tongue-in-cheek. And then the next book out is Ellie and Kate and the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club. That book is about ready to be released now. I just have to do the finishing touches on it, and that will come out. And those are available on Amazon as well under my name, Buchko, and the first name is Becky, Becky.
And what's the name of that book?
That's Ellie and Kate and the South Fork Fishing and Hunting Club, and the other one is Ellie and Kate and the Magical Christmas Tree. And it's because the Christmas tree talks. But that one's really unique because you have the characters from 1889 looking at 2016 Johnstown through 1889 eyes. That was very, very fun to write.